Detroit is the greatest!
Straight up light you on fire for a Coney dog right now.
Aaron McCarty comes back with Neiman in front of him. McCarty draws. McCarty in. McCarty scores! He makes 7 to go! Down McCarty!
Stafford takes, throws, end zone. Calvin, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
That's right. Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast.com. I'm Vinny Stubbs. Sitting across from me is the vicious monster, the king, Jason Jarvi. Jason Jarvi, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good. 2 weeks in a row. It's amazing that we're actually able to keep it together.
I'm enjoying it.
You know, we're both here. I'm not on vacation. Vinny's not working arguing with his girlfriend.
Oh, I'm not?
You may be. I don't know.
Okay.
I could be wrong. What's the status right now? Let's give us some statuses.
Okay, yesterday, as you all know, was Jobby Nooner, right?
Yeah, that big boat thing on the lake.
Yeah, well, I had to work yesterday so I can pay my bills. And she went to Jobby Nooner on a boat and all this stuff. I don't care. She came home 2 hours later than she said she was going to, and I wanted to go out, and she was drained, right?
You wanted to go out and party.
Yeah, I wanted to have a couple beers and watch the Tigers. So we went out, and she was going to bed. So she was in my room. After she went to Jobby Nooner, she said, I'm going to bed. I go, I'm going outside. So I got into my car and drove around the block to my friend's house for 15 minutes, dude. She drives up to his house. I didn't even know she knew where he lived, and starts screaming out of her car like a maniac. He goes, dude, you're not going to believe this. I go, yes, I am, because I just heard it. So I jumped back in my car and I drove home, and all the lights in the house are on. And I walk in, she goes, you are a liar. I'm like, dude, you need to relax, first of all. I went around the block for 15 minutes. She went to Jobby Nooner today for 10 hours, and she wasn't having it. So she screamed at me, called me a liar, and ran out of the house. I'm like, wow, once again, I'm going on Brazzers tonight.
Well, what was going to stop you from going on Brazzers that night, though?
To be honest with you, nothing. I was going to go on Brazzers either way. Well, I was going to go on XNXX, but then that happened, and now I was forced to go on Brazzers.
So you guys are off right now. What's the over-under on you guys being back together by the airing of this podcast?
I have no idea. There's like a 2-to-1 odds.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
Take that.
That's what's crazy. Is that the
John,
Periscope?
what do you think? I know you're on Periscope right
John's
now.
over here on Periscope.
And people will be able to see this before it's even aired. But John, what do you think? Are they back together or what? You're the professional. You're the doctor.
Genius.
The doc thinks Vinny and his girlfriend will get back together. Vinny talks a big game, but at heart, he's a very sensitive guy. He cares about his girlfriend. He wouldn't be talking about it so passionately
Oh, my God.
if he didn't care.
Oh, shut up. I've had enough.
So passionate, Vinny.
You guys are clowns.
Those are words I haven't heard associated with you.
I think he's very sensitive, caring. He's a nice guy. He just leads on to be this tough guy.
He's a big tan teddy bear.
Dude, I'm so
wearing purple.
Get off those phones. It's vicious and disgusting and sick, and shame on you. Get out of here. Get it out of my face. My bullpen makes me drink.com. How about that?
Thank you. They gave us some nice beer cozies.
This bullpen does make you drink.com, doesn't it? Does it not make you drink?
Some of them do. Tom Gorzolani makes me drink.
Oh, my God.
Joaquin Soria does not make me drink.
He did make me drink.com last week, but now he kind of like just makes me drink.net. See, there's kind of a difference.
What about the .org?
Well,
that's a job out, right?
.org, like Tom Gorzolani makes me drink.org. And Joaquin Soria makes me drink.net. I'm going to go ahead and say that L. Albuquerque makes me drink
.ca.
Period.
Oh, there you go.
It just makes me drink.
Well, the big story of this week, though.
Let's talk about the big story. We don't want to talk about this dilapidated bullpen any longer.
Let's talk about some good stuff. Some future. The NBA draft happened on Thursday.
Yes.
And the Pistons got Vinny's guy.
Yep.
Stanley Johnson.
Steal the draft.
Not a white guy.
No, it's not. Thank you,
I know
Jesus.
he's so happy.
Yes, I'm so happy.
I know you had to be happy when you saw that Porzingis went 4.
Oh, my
and
God.
Hazonia went 5. So
Yep.
there's no chance that we were going to get one of those Euro guys.
Absolutely. God bless Stan Van Gundy.
So tell me a little bit about him, or what do you think? You think he's a good fit on this team?
Stanley Johnson, yes. I think it's going to take him a year, possibly 2, to come into his own and be the monster, the vicious, disgusting, animal, savage that this guy is. 6'6". You understand me? Get this phone out of my face. I'm trying to talk right here. 6'6", a forward out of Arizona. He's only 18 years old. The guy was born in 1996, Jason. I want to die. 1996? He's bigger and more physical than your boy Justice Winslow. You wanted Justice Winslow? Don't act like you didn't want Justice Winslow. You wanted Justice Winslow, and Adam said that we're going to get Justice Winslow. Johnson, he's a more solid defender, and he should pan out, right? I think so. Stan Van Gundy knows. I love Stan Van Gundy. But it sucks because all these players are young in the NBA draft. That's the only thing that sucks about it. They're so young, you got to sit there and you got to wait for it to pan out. And don't forget about the free agents that we're about to just get. This squad is about to be
Hold
just
your horses,
feckless.
though, with the free agents. I'm not a huge fan of Stanley Johnson. When the pick came, and if you saw our Twitter conversations going back and forth,
Right.
Twitter pretty much spoiled the pick. I knew it was coming. I wasn't happy because I really think, I thought I didn't expect Winslow to be there because I would have assumed that he would have went before, but picks fell the way they did, so Winslow's there. We passed on him. We also passed on a guy in Devin Booker. He's the ultimate stand guy. He's a guy who's a shooter. He's the person that Reggie Jackson or Brandon Jennings would dish the ball out and shoot the 3-point shot. After hearing Stan talk and hearing Stanley Johnson talk, I like the kid.
Oh, dude.
The guy talks. He's smart. He's got some edge.
He's about it. He's on fire.
One of the first things out of his mouth was Detroit versus everybody.
He could have stopped.
So
I wasn't a big fan of that.
Fans are going to like him for that. But my issue is that Stanley Johnson doesn't shoot. What our biggest issue towards the end of last season, when KCP was out of the game, nobody could shoot. Our best shooter was Anthony Tolliver.
And KCP can only shoot at home, by the way.
But KCP, you got to hope, is going to improve.
Oh, my God. Yes, drastically.
But Devin Booker would have been a guy who he would have been able to give us that relief when KCP has to sit down because he's not going to play 48 minutes a night. Devin Booker, he may not be able to defend. He may be a smaller guy, but he's a guy who could have provided you offense when he came in.
Right.
And I also want to take a mention that Drew Sharp, your boy, you said he was a stud. He came out.
Oh, about Stanley Johnson?
He said Stanley Johnson was a horrible pick.
Listen, I was going to bring that up, and I didn't even write it down. I don't even like Drew Sharp anymore. I don't even know why I said
One
that.
article.
Why? I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. Drew Sharp just flat out came out and said that Stanley Johnson couldn't shoot, and we passed up on all these guys. What the hell does Drew Sharp know? And it's going to take us 2 years.
Drew Sharp knows a lot.
I don't care. I know more, and so do you, and so does John. And so does mybullpenmakesmedrink.com and Stitcher and Podomatic and all that other stuff. All those other platforms that the Motor City Sports Rant's on. Drew Sharp, that was the dumbest article you ever put out. I usually enjoy your pieces. I look at your pieces. I go on your pieces and look up your articles after and before I go on Brazzers, and I glorify you. And everybody should through the Metro Detroit community. But this article was atrocious. It was barbaric. And I don't agree with Drew Sharp. How does he know the guy can't shoot? What does he know that Stan Van Gundy doesn't know? Stan Van Gundy knows. And Stan Van Gundy not only does Stan Van Gundy know, he knows everything. And Stan Van Gundy is going to prevail in Detroit. And Drew Sharp, listen, that's not the sharpest thing you've ever said. That's pretty dull. So you go back in the kitchen and you sharpen up that brain of yours. Jason Jarvi.
John, it looks like you want to interject into this conversation.
I was just, when the pick came out, I was a little bit disappointed because I do think Stanley Johnson in a couple years will be a good player. He's got size. He's a good defender, and that'll get you a spot on a roster. But I just wanted a guy that would come in and start right away and be a productive force. And everyone kind of soured on Justice Winslow after his, practice and talk with the media here in Detroit. But some good points were brought up, too. Isaiah Thomas, on the Bad Boy video, on the 30 for 30, kind of said he intentionally blew off his interview.
He blew off what?
He blew off the interview in
Who
Detroit.
did?
Isaiah Thomas, when he came as an 18-year-old.
He blows off so many things. Why are we just focusing on interviews?
No. The reason why...
That's all he does is blow off
Isaiah
things.
didn't want to be here. Justice Winslow, by all accounts, didn't want to be here. But look what happened with Isaiah.
Which
Superstar.
Isaiah Thomas? The guy playing now?
No, Isaiah Thomas, the legend for the Pistons.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day, he didn't want to be in Detroit. He came in for the interview, and when the general manager asked him questions, he intentionally gave BS answers, and he said it. He didn't want to come here. But he ended up in Detroit and had a great career. I just don't want to see basically this. I just don't want to see Justice Winslow have any success because those two guys are going to be tied to each other. I just don't want Justice to be the Rookie of the Year. Otherwise, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, and it's really going to come down to, I don't think Justice Winslow is going to be, he's not like the next LeBron James, but it will be interesting to see. I think both of them will have good careers.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see who has the better career. And I think that Stanley Johnson does have a little bit further to go with his shooting.
Right.
But now that we passed on finding that ace shooter in the draft, we're going to have to start looking at free agency now, at trying to find that guy who can give us that extra offense. Mm-hmm. So there's a few names out there. One of the names tossed around is DeMarre Carroll in Atlanta,
right?
Where he's a shooter, but there's also a possibility that Atlanta may give him a max deal to keep him.
Right.
And I think with a lot of these players, we're going to have to give them max money because why would they leave their teams that are playing better?
They're in the playoffs, right? I know.
Right. So, and another one is Wesley Matthews from Portland.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a good 3-point shooter, but he is coming off of an ACL tear. So we're dealing the same thing with Brandon Jennings. I know we talked a little bit last week about Danny Green from San Antonio.
He's going to resign with the Spurs. I don't see why he wouldn't.
But the guy that's already been linked with the Pistons right now, Tobias Harris from Orlando.
Right.
He's a big guy.
Right.
He shoots the three. Mm-hmm. You know, he fits the mold. What do you think, Vinny?
I think that he's 22 years old and he's a stud. 17.1 points per game last season with 6.3 rebounds and almost 2 assists. You need that. That's phenomenal. That's what I'm looking for. Does it fit Stan Van Gundy's scheme?
Yeah. 3-point shooting, defense, yeah.
But they're targeting this guy, but he's a restricted free agent. That's what sucks about this.
So you're going to have to give him you're going to have to give him max money unless Orlando will try and re-sign him. The thing about that, though, is that they have shooters now, and they drafted Mario Hezonja, who's also a 3-point shooter, so they may be a little bit more apt to release
to let
him go.
So if Carroll and Danny Green both sign back with their teams, and the only guy that you can go after Tobias Harris, but he's restricted, and he goes to Orlando or somewhere else, do you re-sign Greg Monroe and then trade him at the All-Star break? What's going on with that? How is Greg Monroe not signed yet? That's really weird.
The only way that I sign Greg Monroe is that if we lose out on everybody,
right?
Because at this point, I'm done with Greg Monroe.
Got to move on from him.
He doesn't really fit the Stan Van Gundy scheme.
No, he doesn't.
You saw that
awful on defense.
You saw when Monroe was out that Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond kind of started meshing together,
right?
And they started kind of becoming what Stan had in Orlando when he had Dwight Howard. And that's really what you want to work towards. And Greg Monroe is just another guy to clog the middle on offense. So you're
only on offense.
We got to look for a shooter.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm just hoping that we can get one of these big name 3-point shooter guys. Otherwise, it could be a rough season next year.
John, I want you to look up Danny Green stats right now while you're just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. I told you I went DeMarre Carroll stats and I went Danny Green stats. We're talking about Tobias Harris and what he brings to the team. 17.1 points per game. I told you I didn't have time to look up the other two guys.
And what's John doing? He's sitting back in his chair.
Daydreaming about Periscope.
Talking about how good Toronto is.
Jesus.
I'm thoroughly enjoying the podcast, but I will look up the stats. Carroll and Danny Green. No problem. Coming right up.
I want you to look it up right now. Don't just talk about it. Be about it. It's Detroit versus everybody. And if it really is Detroit versus everybody, we lost. Okay? Tobias Harris, Danny Green, DeMarre Carroll, Greg Monroe, Roy Williams, Charles Rogers, Mike Williams, Dan Campbell, and John Kitna.
All right, with Danny Green, what do you want to know? I'm not into basketball.
I want his points per game and his assists and his rebounds. Is that so hard to ask? Jason, you put your phone down. You don't have to do that. That's John's job. He's working the board over here. You understand me? Stanley Johnson. His name's Stan, and so is Van Gundy's. And Stanley, his last name's Johnson. So he's going to produce.
Hopefully he's got a big Johnson.
Oh, I guarantee you he's probably got the biggest Johnson in the locker room, in the NBA. Okay?
Did you like his comment? I'm the best player in the draft.
I love that in Detroit. Oh, if it was anywhere else, I'd be like, oh, I hate this dude. I hope he tears his ACL immediately.
You like his confidence?
Oh, dude, I love it. The Tigers. The Pistons are missing that. That's your Torrey Hunter of the Pistons, sucker. It's going down. It ain't.
DeMarre Carroll last year had 12.6 points per game.
No.
5.3 rebounds.
Okay.
1.7 assists.
That's okay. No, I'm not interested.
Danny Green, 11 points per game,
Okay.
4.2 rebounds, 2 assists per game.
Okay, let's go ahead and try to go after Tobias Harris. 17.1. I thought Danny Green was better than that.
Well, Kawhi Leonard gets a lot of the three-pointers. He's the one that the offense is going through a
Look
lot
at
more.
you. Did you just look that up when you looked up Danny Green's stats, didn't you?
And
No, I know that.
DeMarre Carroll's 3-point is just went away.
John the robot macaroon.
39% from threes.
Oh, wow.
So
Often imitated, never duplicated.
I love that open, don't you?
DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
What opening?
It's a strong open for the Doc and Jock podcast.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
well, with Tobias Harris, Bleacher Report went as far to say that with Harris and Stanley Johnson,
Right.
with them starting in the lineup, that it automatically makes the Pistons a playoff contender. So we got to be happy.
Oh, I'm so
That-
pumped, dude. I'm ready.
It's
I'm
gonna
ready.
it's gonna be an interesting season because it's really gonna be a telling season, similar to like with the Lions and with the Tigers. It's gonna be telling on if Stan really knows what he's doing.
Yes.
As far as I didn't like the pick of Stanley Johnson, but I trust Stan Van Gundy,
I trust him.
and I
with
think
my
he
heart
knows
and
what he's
soul.
doing.
Yes, he does.
And it's after next year, it's gonna be. Does he really know what he's doing, or is he just another Joe Dumars?
No, don't you dare say that. Joe Dumars, he did a great job here. He might have lucked out on getting that championship team and drafted terribly after they made their departures. But, dude, that guy did a lot. 6 consecutive Eastern Conference trips and 2 finals appearances, and they won one. Ben Wallace, the Fro. Dude, look at me. The Fro, bro.
He was good while he was here.
Yeah, well, ever since the owner died, William Davidson, he fell apart. And then when he had a little bit of power, he freaked out and signed the most ridiculous, outlandish player that no one else would touch for too much money, a mega amount of dollars. And that's what happened to Joe Dumars.
Okay, Vinny, then let's just ask you right now. Overall, who's going to be the better pro, Justice Winslow or Stanley Johnson? Overall in his career,
How do I know?
you need to know. Put it out there.
No one
your-
knows.
it's your
I like,
opinion.
I
It's
like
Really,
Stan-
only your prediction.
I like Stanley Johnson's confidence. I like his swagger, I like the way he talks. The guy's ferocious. He's a vicious monster. And if he can either produce and just be about it and just be sick, or he could be Roy Williams 2.0, and I'll hate his guts. And if Justice Winslow does have a better career, then it's just going to set us back even further. But I trust Stan Van Gundy.
And I really think it depends on the play where he's at and how they develop. I think Stanley Johnson, if it develops under Stan Van Gundy, he gets the rapport with Reggie Jackson and with Andre Drummond, and they become like just this amazing offense, then he could be the better of the two.
Right.
I think Justice Winslow, they got to hope Dwayne Wade stays in Miami because it's looking like he's leaving,
Oh, who
and he
cares?
could go join his best friend LeBron James in Cleveland.
God, his body's falling apart. Worse
So
than Ryan Broyles.
that means it would just be Justice Winslow and Chris Bosh.
oh my
So
God.
I think that would be
and Eric Spoelstra.
it would be bad for him. I think if it's just Winslow and Bosh in Miami, it's not a very good situation for him
Oh man.
because he'd have to be the guy right away.
Just keep this in mind, guys. Once the pick was made and the reviews came in, a lot of people are grading the Pistons draft as being a D to a D minus.
Who are these guys? They don't know anything.
They evaluated Justice Winslow and Stanley Johnson, and they believe, according to the national writers, they believe that Justice Winslow does everything better
Isn't
than Stanley
Justice
Johnson.
Winslow
now.
a 2?
And that's
No, he's a three.
something
He's
that
a three.
So they're both 3s.
They're both 3s.
So if Stanley Johnson doesn't pan out and Winslow does, I'm going to be pissed off.
well, that's something that Stan Van Gundy addressed though is that how do you really evaluate these guys? The only way that people are really judging these guys now are by what Chad Ford wrote
Right.
and what they've told them. Unless by chance that they've watched every single, basketball game that they've ever played and watched their high school games and they know that exactly what they're going to progress
They
until.
don't know anything. Van Gundy's taken 2 teams to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that the top picks in the draft, Karl Anthony Towns, Jahlil Okafor, D'Angelo Russell, all those guys could be busts too. We never know.
Making my head spin.
LeBron James was really he's, in my mind, the only guy who was a clear number 1 pick in this last decade or more than a decade.
Yeah, and to further your point, there were negative reviews written on Steph Curry when he came out that he was going to be average and he wasn't going to be good. And look what he's turned into. So it's going to be how hard he works and how does he fit into the system.
Everybody gets
We have to
negative
hope.
reviews.
We have to hope. Yeah, we have to
You
hope.
just see Stanley Johnson's because you're from Detroit.
Yeah, we have-
go look at the Miami Herald, whatever the hell it's called. I'm sure they got negative reviews about Justice Winslow.
Yeah, this is the reason why it sucks, and it's the reason why we're debating is there's another player out there that we all kind of wanted.
We're not debating, we're master debating.
We are master debating.
When are you going to get it through your head?
Masters.
There is no debating in here, only master debating.
Let's see. Maybe Stanley Johnson will revel in the competition and step it up. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the rest of the draft?
Me?
Yeah.
It was on, but no.
I enjoyed the draft. It was very entertaining. It was fun. I tried to peek in.
Sick.
It was fun.
When the Knicks drafted Kristaps Porzingis, and those Knicks fans, that's exactly what they're doing. They're booing, and
From the start.
Stephen A. Jackson lost his mind.
Stephen A. Smith, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you like this, though. I don't like what I feel Jackson lied to us. He lied to us in the community. It's vivacious. I don't like it.
But when I was watching that, seeing that stupid little kid in all that dumb Knicks swag and the little blue glasses,
Dude.
acting like he's crying,
Oh
and
my
takes a
God.
selfie of himself, I wanted to punch him in the face.
We are so screwed as a society.
Like, that's what that kid is what's wrong with America.
You no kidding? I know.
He's like a 7-year-old taking a selfie. Now, I think it looked like his dad was next to him.
He didn't
and
spank him?
He looked like a giant Homer Knicks fan as well,
Oh, dude.
because they were all booing the pick.
If my son did that, you'd see the Adrian Peterson come out of me. I ain't even kidding.
Did you guys, I mean, I know that kid was crazy, but did you hear the story from, I
He's
think,
crazy. He's a Knicks fan.
Deadspin or Bleacher Report? There was a guy, a 6'10" reporter editor. So you know what he does? He's like, you know what? I'm going to try to make a story out of this. He goes to the draft and pretends to be a potential draftee, gets on the floor of the NBA draft. Then he puts on a Utah Jazz hat,
Calm down.
goes out and parties and acts like he was a draftee from the night.
Oh,
And
my God. I do the same thing.
Isn't
It
it
was
what
cool.
It was
That's
very
awesome.
cool. Yeah, the girls were taking off their shirts.
Oh,
They were-
my God.
He had a great bar night. Let me tell you, it was a great story. People were taking pictures with him. Fascinating story on how
Oh.
people treat people who they think are celebrities.
I hate my parents. I hate them.
The genetics.
Why
that they couldn't
why
make
am I,
you 6'10"?
I'm like 5'9", maybe. I hate my parents. If I was 6'10", I would have already done it. I'm like, yeah, I'm Porzingis. Never mind, I wouldn't have said that because I would have threw
They
tomatoes at
booed
me.
you.
You guys think Porzingis is going to be one of the Europeans that makes the All-Star team and is successful?
4 years.
It's gonna take some time. I definitely think he has a ton of Darko in him.
What the
He
hell
looks
do we
like
know?
Darko.
We don't know anything. We
but
don't know.
yeah, in like 4 years, I think it's possible that he could be good. You never know though.
Watch both Hazonia and Porzingis turn out to be superstars, turn out to be like Dirk
Watch them
Nowitzki.
both turn out to be Andrew Bogut.
Hey, he's got a ring.
True sharp.
But another guy outside of the Knicks who may have had an awful pick would have been Michael Jordan and the Hornets.
Oh, my God.
They passed up multiple picks. They passed up, including in those picks, was an unprotected first round, so they could take Frank the Tank Kaminsky.
Didn't you hear that?
Yeah,
They
I heard
had
that.
6 picks for Frank Kaminsky. I mean, Michael Jordan
I heard it.
should have been called into a meeting and like reamed out. How could you pass that up? Frank Kaminsky's never going to live up to that if that story's true.
He's
Never.
too busy looking at himself with the Hanes shirt on.
And I'd say of the best picks in the draft, I'd have to go with Devin Booker
Right.
to the Suns. I think he's in a good position there.
They're so irrelevant.
I also think Sam Decker going to the Rockets, him playing with James Harden, he's going to be in a good
He's going to
situation.
be playing with somebody with a Harden, so everything's going to be
What do you think? Who do you think had the best draft?
Who do I think? The Rockets and the Pistons, of course.
You think the
The Rockets got
Pistons?
Sam Decker? That's insane. He fell that far down.
So you believe Stanley Johnson when he says I'm the best player in the draft?
Oh, he better be. Yes, I'm going to marinate in that blue, red, and white butterness and rub it all over Mason's chest and lick it off.
Yeah, and
because
then-
we're sickening now.
And they got the,
Detroit.
yeah.
and then they got the Ben Wallace prototype in the second round from Louisville.
Oh, my God.
The big, tall defender.
What's his name?
Name slips my mind. But,
Oh, okay.
but well, I definitely remember him because he played versus Michigan State in the tournament. But he's a big, tall defender, and he's gonna have an impact. Basically,
You'll
next
never
year,
even see him.
next year when any team plays the Rockets, good luck getting a rebound. They're gonna dominate the boards.
You know
Good
who
luck.
you're going to have good luck about getting a rebound? The 76ers. They just have a bunch of giants on their team. They got Joel Embiid.
They
They
suck,
got
Jason, they might as well contract them out of the
They
league.
have a bunch of 7-footers though.
It doesn't matter. They can have-
It's gonna be. It's a circus to watch.
It is, they should. They
I'll
can
just
have
turn it on
8-footers.
to watch all those 7-footers. Embiid, Nerlens Noel, and Jahlil Okafor. They're gonna be blocking 3-point shots.
Dude,
It's
get
gonna be
rid of
funny
them.
to watch.
Get rid of the Sixers, please, Jesus.
So it's going to be a wait and see pretty much on everybody. We're going to have to wait and see on Stanley Johnson.
Right.
Me and Vinny disagree, but we both trust in Stan.
Right.
But when we come back, we're going to talk some Tigers.
Right.
We're going to talk a little bit of Lions.
Absolutely.
And then we have our best segments of the show.
Oh, what is that called?
I think it's something like far or short, something like that.
I don't know. Guess again.
Big or small.
Oh, you're getting close.
Is it length or girth?
Oh, God bless you. It is indeed length or girth on Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
See? I looked it up real fast on one of my 5 phones, Montrezl Harrell from Louisville. Blocking machine, great defender. Rockets. Rockets won the draft, in my opinion.
Okay, John. Sell your stuff.
Doc for DetroitSportsPodcast.com. The free and easy way to support our project here. We put out several podcasts a week. The Motor City Sports Rant every Monday. Doc and Jock every Thursday. Some special one-on-one chats with great local journalists and media members and sports athletes, hopefully down the line. To support our project, definitely check out our website, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. Great online deals 24/7 on tickets, sports memorabilia, car rentals, anything at all in regards to Detroit sports. Check out DetroitSportsPodcast.com. And if you buy anything online, click through the Amazon banner, the free and easy way to support the Detroit Sports Podcast Network. We greatly appreciate anyone who goes to DetroitSportsPodcast.com. And now back to the Motor City Sports Rant with Jarvi and Stubbs.
I guess I don't. Oh, you mad, huh? Oh, you mad, huh? Whoa, oh, you mad, huh? Oh, she gonna be mad, right?
Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. Jason Jarvi.
Let's dive into some MLB, some Tigers, some My Bullpen Makes Me Drink.com.
Yes.
The Tigers again. We come again this week.
We came?
We did. We came here.
Oh,
and
we didn't come there.
They are 38-36 again. 2 games again.
Yeah.
Above 500.
Right. 6 games back of the Royals.
1.5 games behind Minnesota.
Yep. Wow.
We're in the same boat as we are last week.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Last week I came out and said that they're going to have an average rest of the season. They're going to finish 500, and they're not going to make the playoffs.
All-Star break couldn't come any sooner. Really.
Verlander, it's funny that John, he mentioned, like, next time you're going to be able to see Verlander is against the Cleveland, and did he start? He did not.
Dude, did we play Cleveland every day?
That'd be
We
awesome.
should. It'd be awesome if we did. Brett Ausmus made him pitch 117 pitches, and what do you know? Back spasms.
And then he sits the only guys that hit down. Wow.
Ausmus is definitely
He's an idiot.
I've wanted to give him chances, and he's messed up a fair amount of times. He had another questionable call this week. He pulled out V-Mart in that 10-inning game.
Why?
Pulled him out for a pinch runner, Josh Wilson.
Right.
Didn't even move Wilson.
My God.
So then, bottom of the 10th, when we're down a run, we just scored 2 runs to come within 1. So you have Miguel Cabrera, and are you going to let Cabrera hit in that situation? No, you walk him. So ideally, you'd have Victor Martinez with bases loaded in that position to get a hit and score a run to at least try and tie or win the game for you. But you don't have him. You have Josh Wilson there.
What do you want from me? You already know where I stand on Brad Ausmus.
Josh Wilson struck out. End of the game. It would have been nice to get that one.
Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice
dick.
if we can gain a half game on the Royals? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we were not 6 games back and we're sitting Cabrera and JD Martinez down? Wouldn't it be nice?
You got to give those guys a rest.
No,
every
you
now and
don't.
then.
They're hitting the hell out of the ball.
Well, would you want Cabrera to play every day, and then if we did make it in the playoffs, Cabrera then be broken down?
You're not going to get into the playoffs 6 games back.
I believe you with that, John.
So, yeah, John.
At this point in time, you can't give away games. And the 3rd game of the series versus Cleveland.
Yes, you could. Yes, you can. And that's what Ausmus wants to do.
Yeah, you can't give away games right now in the middle of the season. And they did. They assumed that they could get the sweep versus Cleveland. They sat Miggy, and it was a terrible decision. I asked it on Twitter, on our Twitter page, at Detroit Podcast, tell me a tactical move that Brad Ausmus has made.
A tactical move?
That you can look back and say, yeah, good managerial move. Not a one. I can't think of any. Every move that he tries to make just backfires in his face. And I tweeted out when Wilson was hitting. I said, listen, can he just bail Ausmus out? Otherwise, another night of headaches. He's just right now. He's not the manager that's going to help this team get over the hump.
So
he's a 500 manager. He
fire him, right?
No,
82 and 80 at the end of the year.
Really, there's no
all the talent.
There's no better options out there. They're going to stick with him. But right now, if you look at his stats, he's a 500 manager. That's about it. That's where he's at in year 2. He's had a couple nice runs to start the seasons, and after that, he's right around 500, and a little bit under too.
No, I will say he hasn't had the same kind of deck that Jim Leland was dealing with. He had a bunch of injuries last year. He's had injuries this year. He doesn't have the pitching. Without Scherzer, he's probably had one of the best 3-game runs in the past couple of weeks that any pitcher has had in the history of baseball.
Right.
So he doesn't have the same. You can't really compare him to Leland.
Right.
So it's hard to say that you want to give him a chance when he's making all these wrong decisions.
And then the players that you see on the field continue to miss signs. Nick Castellanos ran home when the third base coach gave him a stop sign.
Calm down.
It cost us a run. In the game that he did that, we lost by 1 run.
He's batting .210. What do you expect?
Castellanos,
the Cardinals are 25 over 500.
Is hitting a little bit better, slightly, marginally better. Then he makes stupid base running mistakes. So then you got the question of why is he playing every day when Romine gives you a spark? Why is a guy like Tyler Collins, who batted .275, not on this roster? JV comes back and you send down Tyler Collins, who's hitting, and you have Castellanos. What are they waiting for? And then what pissed me off, I don't know where I heard it, but I did hear it. There was someone who came on and spoke and said, potentially, there was a rumor that there was a potential offer that Oakland wanted Castellanos, and they were going to prepare to give us Donaldson.
Oh, what?
We do that every day of the week.
I heard about that.
Did you hear it? I heard it. I heard it somewhere. It's in my mind.
And shut that down?
I don't know what the deal was in totality. There was someone who reported that Oakland had interest in Castellanos back in the day, and we could have potentially got Donaldson. And now you look at it and you're like,
why'd they blow him for so long in Detroit? Look at him.
I'm ready to sit him down for a couple weeks. 3 games wasn't enough. Yeah, he's hitting a little bit better, but he's still making atrocious mistakes.
Oh, my God.
And it's cost the team.
I just don't know what the Tigers can do right now to really fix this season. You got to have it's going to have to come from the guys that we have. And, with all the bad that we've talked about, there has been some good. JD Martinez has really seemed like he's turned the corner.
Right.
Left and right, it seems like he's hitting home runs. Was he 18 or 19 right now?
19 home runs.
19 home runs.
Yeah,
so,
6 in the last 5 games.
I mean, he's been huge. Victor Martinez coming back.
That's
he
huge.
Seems like he's turning the corner.
That is big.
Joaquim Soria.
Right.
He's also looking like he's shaking off some of his rust.
Look at me right now when I say this, and I could be so wrong. But if I'm right, I'm going to look like a genius. Dave Dombrowski's going to trade Yoenis Cespedes at the All-Star break.
That's possible. Who do you think?
I don't know.
What piece do you think that they would look for?
Either a starter or a reliever.
Yeah.
Or both.
Because right now they need the pitching.
I'm telling you right now, if I'm right, I want both of you guys to blow me.
I won't, because I agree with you right now. Because
my God.
They have, when Cabrera, he's already hitting. JD Martinez has turned it around, and Victor Martinez, he's came back from injury. So you got those 3 guys to hit. Kinsler's not a slouch. Iglesias has been having a good season. Kinsler isn't a slouch.
He's batting .260 with 2 home runs.
I think he'll turn it around. But
I don't know about that. He's a good infielder, so I don't really care.
Cespedes, though, he's not even signed for next year. So
no, he's not.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. And pitching is where we need the help.
Yes.
Because Verlander, he's going to miss 2 starts. Who knows if he comes back.
Look at our record with Rajai Davis in the lineup. It's better than when he's out. So you get rid of Cespedes, JD goes, and Rajai Davis in the outfield. You go ahead and get a starter, possibly a reliever, and you can get at least past the Twins and put the Twins, their asses back in 3rd place, and we can get a wild card spot, and then anything can happen. And then you fire Brad Ausmus.
And then the Tigers also got to play better at home. Right. It's really disappointing that they're not playing well in front of the fans.
I haven't even been to a game this year.
The games the Tigers used to play at Comerica used to be the Tigers used to play very well at Comerica, and this season just hasn't happened
because they had Jim Leyland,
and we don't have pitching right now. And we're gonna have to, outside of the players that we have right now, we're gonna have to get a lot of help from.
If it ain't one thing, it's the other.
We're gonna have
8 games in a row.
We're gonna have to get a lot of help from the other teams. KC is definitely going to have to go on a slump.
And I don't see that happening.
Yeah. It sucks at the beginning of the season. We thought I was all for them dropping off the face of the earth.
Dude,
but it doesn't look like they're dropping off the face of the earth.
No.
And the Twins, that's a team that I still think I think they just lost one of their players, that Byron Buxton kid that they brought up.
Okay.
But I think they'll probably fall off, and we're gonna have to beat the teams that we play. It's as simple as that.
Even if we trade Cespedes and get a starter and a reliever, and we surpass the Twins, we still have to worry about the Yankees. They're 6 games over 500. Or if not the Yankees, the Rays, because they're only a half game behind the Rays. So we have to worry about the American League East again. Brad Ausmus, get it together.
The Blue Jays, they're not that far behind,
they're
are
5
they?
games over 500.
Yeah, so all of the AL East. Why would they? We may see 2 AL East wild cards.
Damn, I thought Boston was going to do better than 33 and 42. Christ,
that's because they got Porcello, and Porcello, he's not a number 1 guy.
Well, neither is Shane Green.
Now, guys, the best part about being on Twitter at Detroit Podcast is you get to check out what these athletes are saying when they're criticized. Jabba Chamberlain had a classic reaction to a fan. A fan kind of was tweeting like, how much, kind of referencing Jabba's weight. And Jabba replied back with, I think the fan had said something like, how much more weight are you going to gain, and what's your role on this team? And Jabba was like, don't worry about it, check my bank account.
Oh,
Jabba.
That's a good answer.
Jabba Chamberlain on Twitter is a good follow. He reacts. He responds to the fans. But right now, the fans are not happy.
He's one of the best relievers in our bullpen, and I hate to say that because I don't.
Come on,
like
you can't say that. He's an implosion right now. He's a great guy. He's a great locker room guy by all accounts.
I don't give a damn how great of a guy you are.
But
I do not give a damn about that.
He's not a good pitcher, and every time he goes out there,
you give a damn that Jabba Chamberlain is this great human being and this humongous positive figure in the locker room. You give a damn about that?
I think it's better than having a guy who's a cancer in the locker room. What a dick!
He's not producing anything. Why'd you even say that?
How can you say he's not producing? He's been.
I just said he's one of the better guys in the bullpen, and he shunned me.
I disagree. I think that when key situations,
and now I disagree too.
He's inconsistent. He shouldn't be out there at all. Every time he's out there, I get pissed.
John, you need to stick to your phones.
Who would you rather have? Gorzolani, Jabba Chamberlain, or Al Albuquerque getting trotted out there?
Leave them all on
with
the
David
bench.
Price coming out of the game, and it's the 7th inning.
Blaine Hardy.
And we're only up by 1, and there's 2 guys on base.
Blaine Hardy.
On the corners.
Blaine Hardy.
A
Wilson,
lefty, one of a
Rondon.
righty's coming up. You're screwed. You got Albuquerque, who is pure garbage, or Jabba Chamberlain, who's even more pure garbage. It's the garbage factor.
Well, now
my bullpen does make me drink.com.
Well, now that you bring up the fans and how they're ripping on our team, let's go into something that's directly affected by the fans.
Absolutely.
AL All-Star MLB voting.
Oh, God.
And we all know how KC has pretty much stuffed the ballots. Let's get an update right now.
Let's do it.
So at catcher, you got Salvador Perez from the Royals.
He is a catcher.
With about 6 million more votes than Russell Martin.
Right.
At first base, amazingly, Miguel Cabrera has taken the lead over Eric Hosmer.
Be on first base? He should play for both teams.
He should.
Absolutely.
Second base, Omar Infante.
Oh, dude.
He's so good, right?
Right. I like Kinsler more.
He's got like a 200 batting average.
I really missed Omar Infante when they got rid of him the second time.
But
just for a year.
He's got a slight lead over Jose Altuve of the Astros.
The Astros. How are they still in first place? The West is it's an atrocity.
Now here's an interesting one. Yeah, at third base you got Mike Moustakas in the lead.
KC, right?
Yep.
I hate his guts.
Josh Donaldson, the Blue Jays.
Right.
You want to take a guess who's third on that list for third base?
Does he play for the Indians?
No.
Who?
Nick Castellanos.
I swear to God in the Holy Bible I was going to say that.
No.
You've got to be kidding me.
I looked at this list earlier in the week, and I saw a lot of Tigers are in the top half of this list, and I kind of think that they're doing the same thing.
Is that us stuffing the ballots?
I think it is.
It's too jaded. They got to figure out a way to fix it.
It sucks because there's no way Nick Castellanos should be anywhere near that.
He should be sent down.
He's got more votes right now than Manny Machado.
That's insane.
Or Adrian Beltre.
Wow.
That means people are actually maybe listening to this podcast. Did I say on this podcast, or was it the other one where I said we should stuff the ballot and get Romine into the All-Star game? That's kind of funny, actually. That's very funny. Let's get Nick
probably at fourth.
Let's get Nick Castellanos into the All-Star game.
Right. Jose Iglesias is second behind Escobar from the Royals.
Oh, my God. I love Iglesias. He's so
outfielders.
great.
Trout is obviously number one, but the Royals have Lorenzo Cain and Alex Gordon. At number 4, though, Yoenis Cespedes.
Oh, trade him.
So, and JD Martinez, he's on the list. Rajai Davis is on the list.
Mm-hmm. Rajai Davis is on the list. He's got 2 homers. He just hit his second home run on Friday.
So they got.
While I was drinking at the Get Laid Bar of the Week.
They got to fix this All-Star voting.
Absolutely.
It's the fact that the game means something is ridiculous.
Whoever has the best numbers at the break starts in the All-Star game.
That was I saw an interesting. Jason Stark wrote a column on ESPN.
He's a stud.
He was given a couple ways they could fix the way that the All-Star game is selected. He had one of his ways was all the leaders of like ERA, home runs, stolen base, all that kind of stuff. All those guys automatically get a spot, right. And then the rest should be, it's either selected by players and then fans vote from that.
Right.
But they got to fix it somehow.
It's tainted. They need to fix it immediately. And this instant replay and challenging, this makes me so sick to my stomach. How do you still get the calls wrong? You still get it wrong. And they want to make the game faster so the batter can't step out of the box anymore. But you're going to do this instant replay stuff and get the calls wrong?
Yeah, I think Joe Madden came out and said that they need to get some nerds in New York to make the decision.
They need to eliminate instant replay and challenging. They got to get rid of it.
But it's something that we've been calling for.
The collisions at home, you can't do that anymore. These guys are all getting together in every sport, all the big wigs, and they are finding more and more ways to destroy the sports that we love.
I think instant replay has a place in baseball, but they need to get it right, though. They need to get it right. If you take out the bullpen or take out the umps from it, let somebody in New York have your MLB office, have them review it and make the right call.
Right.
Because you can't honestly, have a screen the size of a piece of paper and expect to make a decision call.
They need to eliminate it. It's so bad. If you can't get it right the first time you look at it, your ass doesn't need to be there. But you're a professional umpire.
I think it would help though. In the Armando Galarraga game, he would have had a perfect game that game. That would have helped that.
It would have took it. Wouldn't it have, I agree, but wouldn't it have taken something away if Jim Joyce made that call, said the guy was safe, ruined it, then they went back and reviewed it, and then they overturned it? Wouldn't it just take away a little bit of the satisfactory of what Armando Galarraga was doing, just for the simple fact that guy called it safe? It would still be a really big deal.
I think it may have been viewed nationally like that, but in Detroit, we would have had a perfect game.
It would have made our celebration delayed, so it wouldn't be as organic. So John? It doesn't matter either way. I think it really it takes away from the game.
What do you think about instant replay, John?
It's taking the human element out of it.
Well, we were talking to a robot, so we'll get his opinion.
Oh, he's going to enjoy it.
I think it's really good what they're doing over there at the MLB, giving Mike Pereira and Fox a run for their money when they challenge plays. It's just like the process. I really enjoy Mike Pereira's perspective and point of view on what's a reception and what's not. One guy. I like it. And the MLB is starting to follow in its footsteps, and they're destroying it, which is really cool, cuz.
What a dick.
No, listen, I agree. If you're going to do instant replay, I was kind of at first hesitant because I'm old-fashioned. I agree with Vinny. The human element. I do, the human element. But now they've done it. So they've made the decision to do instant replay. So then they need to have a much better system than what they had.
They need to broom Joe Torre.
Get it right. That's all you got to do.
Joe Torre's got to get broomed out. I don't like it, but it's here to stay. And I'm going to commit
They need to upgrade, spend some money, stop being cheap, get some great cameras for every replay.
Oh, you don't worry, it's coming.
They should have the headquarters in Detroit. Take some of the buildings down, knock some of the old buildings down, put up a headquarters for instant replay, and every time there's a question, they go to the warehouse here in Detroit.
Pretty soon they're going to start putting sensors on the players' cleats and on the bases, and their umpires are going to be gone. And when the ball hits the glove, it's the computers. Everything's already going to know.
Do you guys like that, Fox?
So they're eliminating umpires. You don't even realize what they're doing.
Do you guys like the strike zone that they put up?
K-zone?
The K-zone?
I do. I like
it's vicious. I love that.
I do too. So
they're going to eliminate human beings. Watch. No, umpires are going to be discontinued in 5 years. They're going to have sensors on the bases and on the cleats and on the bats and on everything. Motor City Sports Rant. You understand me? Length of girth.
Just get it right. Just get it right.
Yeah.
Just get it right. If you're going to do instant replay, just get it right.
Get it right. When we come back, we're going to take another break. We have a little bit of Lions talk.
Okay.
Got one of our greats is not viewed as the best anymore.
Oh.
And of course, we have Length of Girth.
Oh, absolutely.
And of course, we have Bar of the Week.
Oh, the Get Laid Bar of the Week.
Sorry about that.
On Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
You know who else gets it right? Detroit Sports Podcast on social media. Every platform available now, including Periscope. We're on Periscope, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere on social media that you can go check out Detroit Sports Podcast. From all our friends who go and send pictures from the games to commenting in-game to sharing fans' opinions, our social media platform, I believe, rivals the best out there. I believe that if you follow us at Detroit Podcast on Twitter, we definitely interact with all the fans during Tigers games, during the draft. If you're happy, if you're sad, if you're frustrated, go to Detroit Podcast on Twitter and share your thoughts. We are building a great sports community, and we really enjoy bantering with the fans. No matter what your opinion is, we respect it. Follow Jason Jarvi at Jarvi the King. Follow Vinny Stubbs, who's going to be the Periscope superstar. I'm going to try and do it. Follow Vinny Stubbs at Vinny Stubbs, and follow us on Twitter at Detroit Podcast, one of the great social media platforms out there, Detroit Sports Podcast. Every single week, we want to interact with the fans. Thank you very much. Back to Jarvi the King and Vinny Stubbs on the Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. Jason Jarvi, dude.
I do want to give a shout out to Detroit Sports Nation.
Yes, Detroit Sports Nation, thank you.
They're
Jesus
great.
Christ.
They're great people.
Yes, they are.
They like to they feature our podcast on their page. They're great individuals. They're a great place to go for
Everything.
Detroit sports. So thanks to those guys.
Yes.
DetroitSportsNation.com.
Detroit Sports Nation.
Visit those guys.
24/7. They are beasts. Detroit Sports Nation.
They are like an ESPN.com for Detroit sports. Well, we had a small Lions topic. The NFL, they did a players poll recently, and they asked players who was the best wide receiver. So number one, with a majority of the vote, was Antonio Brown.
Right.
Pittsburgh. He had an amazing season last year. I think he's had over 15 yards the past 2 seasons.
Right.
He has over 20 touchdowns past 2 seasons.
Marvelous.
And he's a stud, and he's a Central Michigan grad.
Absolutely marvelous.
And number 2, Des Bryant.
I agree.
Unfortunately, I do too, because I really don't like the guy. I think he's a character.
He is.
Yeah, but he's
a bitch.
He's a monster on the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
All he does is catch touchdowns.
Yes.
He's in the red zone. You can just toss it up and he'll catch it.
And then Mike Pereira will steal it away from you, and then
Des will come out on the field with his helmet off and not get a penalty called.
And kind of cry.
He will cry because he's a big crier.
Absolutely.
And coming in at number 3, our boy,
my boy, your boy,
Calvin Johnson,
man, Calvin.
Megatron.
Absolutely.
What the hell is that about?
It's about a lot of things.
Only got 14% of the vote.
Wow.
What have you done for me lately? And last year?
Not much.
He was injured. He had troubles. Golden Tate definitely outshined him last year.
I think
on the
his
Lions.
best game was against the Giants on week 1.
Yeah, he was injured. We're gonna see what happens this year.
He's heading into his 9th season or 10th.
He's definitely
his
9th season.
He's getting up there in age.
30.
Oh, this world is so unfair. He's still a monster, and he's going to produce. He's going to get possibly 8 touchdowns. It's staying healthy. 8, 9, maybe even 10 touchdowns. Because who are they going to look for? Our tight ends are inept. All Pettigrew could do is block. Ebron can't block, and Ebron can't catch. So you just got Tate, maybe Lance Moore. He might be old. Maybe Lance Moore. And Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson's going to get a lot of red zone TDs.
I think Calvin's
if Mike
gonna
Pereira
get,
doesn't call him back on.
I think Calvin's going to get a lot of red zone
10
coverage.
10 TDs.
It all depends. He's got to stay healthy.
Right.
And I
Yes, he
think
does.
the offense needs to get better. The offense needs to get better at calling plays, and Stafford needs to get better at spreading.
Does?
He needs to get better at spreading the ball around.
That's the only
Because
thing he needs to get better
Calvin,
is spreading. Because outside of the game, he's really good at spreading.
When Calvin was healthy, he was throwing the ball just to him, and it would seem like you'd have one kind of screen pass to Golden Tate, and it would work, and then you wouldn't see him the rest of the game. It was only really when Golden Tate was the focus of the offense was when he really started to get all the catches and the yards and the touchdowns.
Right.
So if they actually do spread the ball around and you get even to Calvin, even to Golden Tate, try to get something out of Eric Ebron.
No.
Hopefully.
No.
Maybe. We'll see.
He's a bust. He's a bust.
I'm not going to call him a bust after 1 year.
There's no way. At OTAs, he's dropping 5 to 6 balls.
We still got to see.
You robot. Eric Ebron dropping 5 to 6 balls at OTAs. Go.
It happens. Relax. Listen.
It doesn't happen.
Listen.
He's a bust.
I don't think that he's going to live, again, another victim of criticism because of who was drafted after him. He will never live up to the hype because Odell Beckham is going to probably be a Hall of Famer.
Who is?
Odell Beckham.
Get the hell out of here.
I'm super high on Odell. ODB.
He made one
It's
catch.
possible. But what if Odell Beckham drops off the face of the earth?
Whoa.
No, that's not happening.
Answer the question.
Eli Manning's great. He's gonna definitely
Eli
throw the
Manning's
ball.
not great. Let's
Eli
bet-
Manning, great?
Okay, listen.
Look at those rings. Look at the bling off the rings he's got. Only
I
two
can't
of them.
believe talking about Kelvin Johnson got us into this discussion. Now, we all know Odell Beckham's garbage, and Nelson Aguilar's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And he'll be number
You're
one
Philly
this year.
boy.
Oh my goodness. No, listen.
All right, Kelvin Johnson.
One more year. Be patient. I think Ebron's going to be more productive than last year. Is he going to be a great tight end? Probably not. But I do think you can expect that he's going to get 50 catches and at least 5-6 touchdowns. We have to. At the 10th pick, he has to be productive. And come hell or high water, they better try and get him to be more productive in this offense.
Right.
You can't waste a 10th pick. You just can't do it.
I got to tell you something real fast. It's off topic, but I forgot to bring it up because of the Jobby Nooner. Dude, John, your cousin, Adam, and his hockey team is so bad, dude. They are so terrible.
Wait, you went to watch him?
Yes.
What
They're
happened?
like the 08 Lions on roller skates. These guys lost like 17-7. And it was like 17-3 before they just allowed those 4 goals. It might as well just have been an empty net. It was out of control. And I sat there.
This is bad.
Yes. And that his ghost lives on in this room. Dude, these guys are the worst hockey players I've ever seen in my life. And I feel bad for Adam.
These guys know how to skate?
Stoy's good because he's got a rhinoceros penis. But Adam's okay. But the rest of the team, listen, Adam's not good. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He's 32. This team was so inept. I got up like 3 times and I was sitting with Lorraine to go smoke a cigarette. And I just come back and then Adam's like looking up in the stand, shaking his head. No, I'm like, yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. No. Don't you dare look up at me and shake your head.
So what do you want to see from Adam? How many goals do you want him to score this next game?
At least 1.
He needs to get 1.
Oh my God.
Did he get any?
No, not to my recollection. No, no, I don't think so.
Jarvi, did you get the invite to go to this game?
I invited myself.
Next time, let us know. We could do
Go every Sunday.
Get the
over
banners
at Joe
with-
Dumars.
every Sunday.
Go with me. You have to check this team out.
We'll bring the Polish flags
They
and
make
chant.
these guys look like the Globetrotters on skates. It is insane. Okay.
Right?
Yes. I'm sorry. You can delete that if you want. I don't even really care. Calvin
it's
Johnson.
okay. It's okay. That's good. It's all good because you know what we're going into.
Absolutely. Oh wait, no, I don't know what we're going.
It's the big or small.
Oh, microscopic or mega. It is length or girth. Jason the King Jarvi. Question number 1. On length or girth, your buddy, my husband, Stanley Johnson, playing in a Pistons uniform, length or girth?
I mean, I'll definitely go length here.
Oh.
He's gonna be here for a while.
Yes.
At least on his rookie contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna depend on how he plays. If he's actually gonna, stick out his career here.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a different age where it used to be guys would spend their whole career here,
Right.
or spend their whole career with one team. But we'll see. I think if he's good, we'll definitely do everything we can to keep him around. So
Right.
I go length.
I'm going to go ahead and go length too. I love his name. And he's a stud. 6'6". That's what we needed. He's going to get sent to the line a lot, and he's going to develop into a stud, and he's going to be better than Justice Winslow. And by the way, him and Kentavious Caldwell both wear the number 5. So I see maybe Stanley Johnson wearing 15, and that doesn't matter. That's very relevant because this is length or girth, and you guys have both, and I have neither. A microscopic. Question number 2, Jason Jarvi. The Tigers. Every time we look at the standings, they're always at least 5 games back of the Kansas City Royals. The Tigers. Length or girth, playing 5+ games below KC in the AL Central. Length or girth, dude.
I'm gonna go girth here. I think that they're gonna stay 5 games back.
Right. That's length.
Length, yeah.
Yes, that's
They're gonna stay 5 games back.
Absolutely.
Because unless KC drops off, there's no way that they're gonna be able to catch up unless they go on an amazing tear and
Right.
go 20 or 30 games in a row,
Right.
where they're going 700 to 800 type baseball.
Absolutely.
It's going to be length, and they're not going to make the playoffs.
They need to grow length and girth and start dropping their balls on the Twins. And hopefully the Yankees and the Rays start looking like garbage because I think Kansas City's they're gonna win the division. But as long as the Yankees and the Rays don't have a better record than the Tigers after we get in second place at the All-Star break, we can go to the playoffs and make some noise. I'm going to go girth. Question number 3, your buddy Ian Kinsler. He's batting .260, 2 home runs and 29 RBIs. Jason the King Jarvi. Question number 3. Ian Kinsler, his batting struggles. Length of girth.
I'll definitely go Girth here. He's a veteran. He knows how
Makes me
to.
feel so much better.
He'll be able to work out of it.
Right.
I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to, really spark this offense, but you will see Ian Kinsler get better. So
Right.
Girth.
I'm praying for girth, and I'm hoping length isn't even an option. He's batting .260 with 2 home runs and 29 RBIs. He was talking a lot of smack before the season started, if you remember. Why are we being disrespected? Why is everyone overlooking us? And then you come out and perform like this. You're a terrific infielder, and we really, really, really need you to start hitting. Seriously. That really just about does it for length of girth. Ian Kinsler, get your act together. Seriously, we need you.
Well, I have one more question for you, Vinny.
Okay.
Herschel Walker came out.
Oh, length of girth.
This guy's over 50.
He's 53.
He said that he can still run a 4.3. Now take a look at this man.
Oh, my God.
He's ripped.
God, he's 53? So there is HGH getting pumped into his butt cheeks, correct?
And
There's no way that guy is not on HGH.
the Atlanta head coach, Dan Quinn, I think offhandedly said that he'd give an invite to him.
I heard about that on your show the other day. Yesterday.
So if you're the general manager, head coach of the Lions,
Right.
do you actually give him a shot? You bring him in?
Replacing Theo Gridiron on the microphone, that's about it. The guy is a monster, and he looks like ridiculously in shape. He makes me look like a bitch. That's insane for 53. I just hope that my sex drive looks like that when I'm 53. You think he can still get a boner?
If I would imagine.
Right.
But
That's the better question.
if it didn't cost any money, I wouldn't see the why not? Just bring him in, see what he can do.
They don't have
the guy
any
looks
running
like
backs.
a monster.
They don't have any running backs in Atlanta.
John, you got a grin on there. It looks
I
like you like what you
hate Dan
see from
Quinn.
Herschel Walker.
I was gonna bring up a funny joke with you having strong black men on your phone, but
Right.
no, come on, man, that's a sideshow. Bring him in to coach. That's about it. he can run a 4.3 all he wants. Maybe he can teach Joik Bell how to run a little faster.
Dude, that guy is in some serious shape. There's no way that's all natural.
Actually, he'd be good at running backs coach. Show the guys how to be tough, get in the end zone.
That's a good point. Maybe you can be the running backs coach in Atlanta because they're just not producing. Question number 20 on length of girth.
Jason over there.
What do you think, Jason? I mean, do you think he could play running back for the Atlanta Falcons?
I said that I would bring him in. It wouldn't hurt.
Yes,
if
it
it doesn't
would.
cost any money.
Well, I
then
heard what Chris Mortensen said yesterday, so it's not going to happen.
No, it'll never happen. 50 years old. it'd be very interesting.
He's 53 years old.
53
It's 1,000
years
years
old.
older.
Well, you know where he should go though. Instead,
I already know.
where should he go?
Well, he should go to the Get Laid Bar of the Week. The Get Laid Bar of the Week. Casey's of Walled Lake. 1003 West Maple Road in Walled Lake. Casey's offers a full line of menus for any taste, from soups to seafood. And try out their new sushi bar. Hey, about that sushi bar. I may not know much, but I do know that sophisticated women love sushi bars. I mean, they adore it. So do yourself a favor. Go home, iron a dress shirt, damn it, and act smart at the sushi bar. 3-to-1 woman to dude ratio. Get your wiener and your mind right. And check out Casey's of Walled Lake. Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast.com. OG. Oh my God.
What do you guys got going on rest of this weekend after this great podcast? It was good, very good listen.
Listen.
I'm going to be going to the Detroit City FC game on Sunday.
Ooh.
Root on Le Rouge.
Ooh.
I'm going to tell you something about those guys, the followers, the supporters of the La Rouge.
Yeah.
They are out in full force.
Northern Guard, baby.
Mike Tirico just put out an innocuous tweet. He was just like, maybe one day Detroit will get an MLS team. And so I just shot him a message and was like, hey, what would you name the team? I got like at least 100 tweets saying, we already got a team here, Detroit City FC. We don't need it. And every time I even remotely mention on any kind of level MLS in Detroit, the fans of the Detroit City what is it? The Detroit City
DCFC.
Detroit
City FC.
Detroit City FC. They come out in full force. I do give you credit.
I've seen it on Twitter.
They come out in full force, and they're like, "We already got a team. MLS. We don't need that. We come out and see it."
La Rouge. I mean, that's cool. I
It's
don't like
growing.
soccer, so I kind of rather just drink out of the La Rouge River.
It's a fun time, and
It's fine.
But I do think Detroit would support an MLS team. I'm hoping they do get it, and they can do both. You can have support for a lot of different things, but their supporters are rabid. It's interesting.
John, you're all hopped up. You got a defecate or something?
No, I'm excited.
You look a little.
Lots of coffee. Lots of coffee.
Flustered over there.
I was flustered because they were hateful too. They were like, "Why you guys keep saying we want MLS in Detroit?"
It's a completely different.
It's
a completely different level.
Exactly.
And I love watching the game. They're amazing to go to. Even if you're not a soccer fan.
Where's this place at?
They play down at Cass Tech High School.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great environment, and
It
definitely
is?
the Northern Guard.
I don't know about that.
The Northern Guard supporters, they're true fans.
They
No doubt.
sing and chant and have a good old time, man. They throw the different colored flares. It's fun.
I mean, it's awesome, but MLS is just it's a higher level of soccer. I mean, you can't argue with that. The U.S. Open that DCFC has competed in the past couple of years, they always get knocked out in the first round. It's because they're better players, and it's just a fact. And that's nothing against supporting your guys. It's just it's the facts. So I think it would be cool to see an MLS team come. I'm not sure if we'd be able to get the kind of support that places like Seattle and LA can give to those teams, because I think those are super.
You would need between like 8,000 and 12,000 seater. I think that would be successful, but I think they need it larger. They need like 20 to 25 to kind of sustain the price that you got to pay to get in. It's a lot to get in.
So we're all gonna watch balls get played with this weekend. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Vinny?
I'm gonna go to dude. I don't know. I'm gonna go to downtown Detroit.
Are you going to prep for your next big radio appearance?
Yeah, right.
Should we tease it or should we just tell?
No, don't do that, because it might not even come to fruition. It's up in the air. I didn't even get a response back. They said, "Yeah, come in," and then I said, "Okay, well, this day," and they never responded.
Okay, look for Vinny. Look for Vinny around town on the radio.
No,
maybe
follow his Twitter.
Follow his Twitter.
You can follow
Watch
it.
him.
Follow it or swallow it. I don't even care. I don't even care.
At Vinny Stubbs.
At Vinny Stubbs and Jarvi the King at John Macaroon's Detroit podcast. This guy is ridiculous.
And on Periscope now, the Periscope videos, we got well over 25 views within the first couple seconds.
That's because people are lonely and bored, and I'm not going to watch
They
it.
want to see Vinny and Jason on Saturday at noon.
Clearly. But that's going to do it
Yeah, and as
for
late as you were, Jason.
episode
This
19
turned
of the
out to be
Motor
good.
City Sports Rant.
Saturdays at noon.
Hey,
Can you
listen,
get here?
we're ready for
No,
live.
I can't get here at
We're ready
noon.
for callers, by the way, I think.
You ready to take some
Oh,
callers?
man.
Yep, we're ready for the callers.
Oh, you ready? You
That'll
think
be
so?
fun.
Give me about a week. We'll be ready.
Ready for callers?
Okay.
I'm ready. Are you ready, Jason?
I'm ready.
It's time to take that next
Why
step.
not?
Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
Okay, nice, idiot. F you. Bye-bye.
Good day, sir. I said good day.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Loser.